Hey Simlies, it's Deligracy here, and I am going to be building some Melbourne terrace houses today. If you guys don't already know, I live in Melbourne, Australia, so this was a bit of a fun build for me because this is the kind of homes, or these are the kind of homes that surround where I live and that I pretty much see every day when I walk out my front door. So terrace houses in Melbourne are definitely Victorian inspired. They're usually long, narrow buildings, and they're often side by side joined by their walls. Usually they have like a little front porch or garden that's closed off with a tiny gate and fence, and that usually sits right up onto the footpath on the street that they're placed on. So sometimes they have these front facades, which are really, really difficult to recreate in The Sims 4, but it's kind of represented here by using half walls on top of the house, but they have these facades that if they used to be businesses or if they used to be a home of someone who was quite well-to-do, they would have their family name embossed on the front of them or the business name embossed on front of them. So a lot of these terrace houses are now heritage buildings, and people like to keep the old school facades with the old family name on them because they look kind of old and vintage and really, really cool. They're quite trendy to live in, and a lot of them, depending on where they are and what condition they're in, they can be very, very expensive homes to live in. And one of the fun things about them is that often the facades are kept exactly the same and they're maintained to look the same, but because they're so long and narrow, the backs of them have been renovated and made into these beautiful contemporary homes. So, for instance, one of my good family friends, they were living in one of these homes in a suburb called Northcote in Melbourne, and they renovated the back of their terrace home to have beautiful high ceilings and big modern windows and lots of light coming in, whereas the front of the house was still very, very much the old school terrace style, very Victorian. So I don't know, it's kind of fun to be able to share with you guys this build that is from my culture that I live in, because I'm sure a lot of you guys come from very different places and very different architecture. And for some of you, this is probably very similar to where you live, especially if you are also from Australia. You might be able to tell I'm a little bit rambly. I might be a little bit like off with the fairies. It is 3 a.m. in the morning here when I am recording. This is the last video I'm recording before I go away to the US tomorrow, and I just really wanted to add one more video to my schedule because I just felt like you guys needed one more build. So even though I've built 2 terrace houses side by side, I unfortunately did not have enough time to finish the second house. So these are on the gallery ready to download. If you would like to download them, you can, and the one on the left will be fully finished, and then the one on the right you'll have to finish yourself. But I actually think that's kind of cool because when I took screenshots of the second terrace house with the empty interior, I was like, this is kind of inspiring. Like, I want to finish this right now. It's like looking at a brand new house and got all excited. So I don't know, might be a good little project for you guys if you have some free time. And I definitely would love to see what you guys do with it. If you do decide to download it, I would love to see. But because I was inspired partly by my family friends who renovated their terrace house, I actually renovate one of these terrace houses as well. And we kind of create this very contemporary added on section to the back of the house. So you guys will see that in a little while, but it's a little bit of fun, and it's quite similar to something that we created during one of my live streams when we were working on a New York brownstone apartment building and we added on this modern penthouse. It's kind of similar to that. So if you were in that live stream, you'll probably think, oh, that's kind of similar. The other thing that I thought I should explain is that you can see I've used half walls at the front and the top of the house for the facade, and this was quite tricky, but I was trying to recreate the facades of many terrace houses in Melbourne that actually used to have old business or family names kind of embossed onto those top parts where the half walls are. And that's something that a lot of people have kept and maintained on the terrace houses because it's very beautiful letter forms. And it just gives the house this amazing, beautiful vintage feel. So usually the tops of the houses are a little bit more curved. They're not as kind of like the half walls, how they're just kind of going up in increments. It's a bit softer than that in real life. And it's just really cool how there's like old family names on the buildings and stuff. And, you know, a lot of these terrace houses are worth a ton of money now as well. Depending on what condition they're in and what location they're in, they are very, very expensive. So if you're thinking, oh, they're really cute, maybe I'll move to Australia and buy one. They are cute, but beware, they actually have a lot of space in them and they're quite popular and sought after. But yeah, I don't know. I also have at the back of this first terrace house just now, I just did this roof that kind of leans down, and it's going to be quite different to the other house. And I guess I kind of wanted to make it look like it had been renovated a long time ago and not very, like it wasn't very extravagant. Whereas this one that we're creating right now, this is the contemporary add-on or renovation to it, which is a little bit more extravagant and stylish and trendy. So there's quite a difference between the two terrace houses. And this terrace house we're working on is going to be all gorgeous and modern and lots of light left in. Whereas the other one, which I've left you guys to furnish, that one's the one that hasn't really been renovated yet. It's still got old wallpaper and the old windows. And I just thought that would be kind of a fun challenge to see what you guys do with it, whether you guys would like to keep it as it is and have a family that might not have as much money move into it, some Sims, and then gradually maybe as they grow up and make money, then they can begin to renovate their house. Or maybe move to the terrace house next door, you never know. And also at the back of the house, there's usually kind of high fences to separate the two homes. I haven't seen many terrace houses out the back, so I'm not entirely sure, but this is what it was like for the family that I know, and they had probably a half concrete wall that separated them from their neighbor's house, which kind of makes me think maybe I should have used a half wall, and like a high half wall, a half high wall instead of the fencing. Maybe I should have done that. Damn. Build regrets. It's okay. It's all right. But yeah, they're coming along quite nicely now. And I always struggle to know what to put on top of these buildings because I'm always like, would they have an aircon thing on top of them, or is that just weird? And do I put chimney? And I'm like, where do I put the chimney because it'll look weird if there's not actually a fireplace inside the build? Oh, just so much confusion. And I like those white trees. I guess they have like white on the bottom of them, and I like the white because it kind of reminds me of gum trees or grey gum trees in Australia. And gum trees or eucalyptus trees are also, when I was in California, they were all over California too, so you guys are used to them as well over in the US, but they're kind of known as a very Australian type of tree. So I don't know, when I was in California I was like, what? There's a gum tree here. What the? I'm in Australia again. It's quite funny. The trunk is white, is what I'm trying to say. Alrighty, so you can see in the old house next door, we've got the wallpaper put in, and it's looking a lot more kind of run down, potentially. Like the bathroom has browny tiles in it that you don't really know if they're brown tiles or if they were white tiles that have become discolored over time. And, you know, it could probably do with a bit of work, but at the same time, it's got lovely old doors with big golden door handles and lovely ceiling lights. So it's quite rich in character still. The other terrace house. Whereas this terrace house has obviously been very well maintained. It's been renovated, freshly painted. It's all very light and fluffy. And for me personally, I like homes that are very light and airy. That's just me. I grew up near the beach and with a lot of fresh air and kind of more countryside, and that's what I grew up with and that's what I like. Whereas I know a lot of you guys enjoy the more smaller, darker places, or maybe little cottages that don't have big windows. They have little cute windows and nice cozy fireplace and books everywhere. For me, I'd just be like, oh my God, it's too dark. But for others, it's your type of thing. Or maybe you want to live in a tree house. You know, everyone's so different, but light and bright is my style. And yeah, I hope one day to be able to have a little bit of input in the design of a house and build it. I think that would be the coolest project ever, to be able to help design and build your own house. That's the aim. That's the aim. I've just got to get to like millions and millions and millions of YouTube subscribers like Zoella and PewDiePie, and then I can afford to build my house and make it awesome. Yay! It's crazy how successful PewDiePie is. Will he ever be taken over in subscribers? I don't think he will for a long time. I think he's just so far ahead in the game, it's just impossible now. Well, not impossible, but for a little while, I think he's going to be on the top for quite a while, unless he does something really stupid and then everyone unsubscribes. That would not be good. Not be good at all. One of my favorite rooms in this terrace house is actually the kitchen, and I also love the bathrooms because they've got this soft yellow and grey color scheme. So I repeated that color scheme in all of the bathrooms just because I really liked it, but you'd probably want to change it up if you want to download this house just to make it look maybe a bit more realistic. I mean, how many bathrooms are all matching in one house? Do you guys have matching bathrooms? Because I've never had matching bathrooms. And I was trying to put a kitchen downstairs and a living area, and I was like, oh my God, this is just not working. Like, look how cramped that is. It's too cramped. Like, it's okay, but we could do better. So what we actually end up doing, which is a little bit controversial, is that we move the kitchen and dining upstairs with a small lounge area, and we have the main lounge area downstairs with the kids' bedroom. And I kind of thought that's not a bad idea, because then the kids could be loud and have friends around and use the lounge area downstairs, then upstairs where the kitchen is and the parents' bedroom and a second lounge. And, you know, that way there's a little bit of privacy between parents and kids. And one thing that I think is really important that might often be forgotten about is the importance of teenagers having privacy. And I know teens who had like open bedrooms to the rest of their house. So they never really got their own privacy, or they always shared a bedroom or something. And I just feel like maybe if you're financially able to have somehow a place that's a bit more private for your kid or as a child, I think it's a good idea, or a teen. I don't know. I mean, obviously, sometimes you've got to share a room. I had to share a room with my sister when I was younger, and that was fine because my parents couldn't afford us to have bedrooms each, which is very common. But as I grew up, I was lucky enough to have my own bedroom, and I just appreciated it a lot. Yeah, and if you can't have your own bedroom, then just a place you can go that's private. Like access to a library or access to like a shed out the back or something. I used to go under my house. I used to make a club area under my house where I had chairs and like planks of wood and toys. And I was like, I'm going to my secret place. It's quite funny. And here we are. Finally, this lounge room is actually beginning to fit and look comfortable. We're going with a bit of a green and grey colour scheme after looking at the yellow and grey in the bathrooms. It's okay. I am going to be honest. I am struggling with the swatches in The Sims 4. I am feeling very restricted, and I am finding it difficult to find new ways of utilizing those swatches to make rooms that look really different. It's just very challenging at this stage, not having more to work with. So I don't know. It looks okay. I think the kitchen is nice and different to what I've done before. It's kind of like this very industrial kitchen with a lot of red in it, like red accents. It reminds me of Jamie Oliver for some reason. I don't know why. And we have a little plant area under the stairs there. We've got our cactus plant and pot plants and little vine in a pot as well. It's very nice. Oh, and oh my goodness, you guys, I bought a brand new phone case today. And I don't know what came over me, but there was this phone case hanging up in the Telstra shop. Telstra's a phone network provider here in Australia, the main one we have. And I just saw out of the corner of my eye this glittering gold phone case cover. And I was just like, oh, I've got to have that. So I went over and I grabbed it, and it's basically gold glitter entirely in a phone case. It's so fetch. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. No, it is. It's just, I don't know. You know, when you're just drawn to sparkly things, I think it's built in to some of us, you know, like when you go into Tiffany's, I don't know, if I ever go into Tiffany's, pretty much if I ever walk past Tiffany's, I have to go in. And you know where I go? I don't care about the bracelets and all of that. I go straight for the engagement rings because I just am mesmerized by them sparkling. Like, them sparkling is the most fascinating thing to look at. It's like looking at fire. You know how humans are always fascinated by fire? No matter how many times you look at fire, it's always interesting. It's the same thing with looking at the stars. You'll always be mesmerized by it. It's the same with diamonds and glitter, just anything super duper shiny. Love it. Love it. I quite like this kid's bedroom. This was a nice color scheme. So you've got 2 beds in here, and yeah, so these kids would share a bedroom, and then the parents' bedroom upstairs. There's just a hint of that deep reddish purple on the desk there, which I think is kind of important. But it's pretty strict with that aqua blue color and the whites. And I like that they have a bookshelf next to each bed and a night light instead of the typical bedside table and lamp. It's just something a bit different. And I do like how this mirror looks like a square mirror resting on top of that wardrobe. And the red roses are a bit of fun too. So we've got a few hints of red, just tying in the colors. It wouldn't be a kid's bedroom without some toys on the floor, a nice train set there, and this llama toy that is the cutest thing ever. Oh, I'm excited for the kids' stuff pack that's coming out. That will be fun. That'll be a good time. In case you guys don't know, there has been a kids' stuff pack announced to be coming out for America and Europe. That's going to be in your summer, I think. So Australia, or Oceania, New Zealand, Australia, Asia, it's going to be in our winter. So that's exciting. And then we have a game pack too that's coming out sooner or this season, and it's going to be a restaurant game pack. So so not quite an expansion pack, like half an expansion pack, which is cool, but more than a stuff pack. So I'm pumped for that, and we'll be able to run restaurants. And I want to make like a really gross, like sweaty, chubby guy who owns a streaking restaurant and makes heaps of money from the Sims working there, and they have to streak, and he's like a multi-simillionaire. I don't know. Why is it in The Sims I always have to make it all dark and like not like there has to be drama, or there has to be a story of the rich and famous. I've been watching too much reality TV. That's my problem. That is my problem. But I just love it. It's always been like that in The Sims for me. My gameplay before I had YouTube, I would always make these like towns full of the rich and the famous Sims, and then they would cheat on each other, and then the kids would get together and then find out their parents had cheated and then run away from home, and Oh, those were the days. Well, they're still the days, let's be honest. I just share it with you guys, which is even more epic. This is the parents' bedroom. And we just went with a shelf behind the bed. I don't know what it is today, but I'm just not feeling bedside tables. Bedside tables frustrate me. I wish I didn't have bedside tables. I wish I just had like nice shelving that connected to my bed head. That's what I want. That's the dream. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta settle with what you have. And that's okay. You gotta be content and be thankful for what you have. And that is the key to living a happy life. Yep. I really like those flowers, by the way, on the desk. I like that they're orange, so they tie into that orange chair. And I know a lot of you guys, when I put in these pops of color, you cringe a bit, but you know, orange and blue totally go together. And that teal color, not ideal on the bedspread, but that's okay. I just miss creative style. Imagine what I could do in The Sims 4 with creative style. Oh my goodness, it would be just of epic proportions. I don't think we'll ever get creative style in The Sims 4, but I will always wish for a color wheel. I am so stubborn, I refuse not to believe that there is a chance of there being a color wheel. I just will forever believe it, because you just have to, there's no other choice. And up here, we are finally making the kitchen area. We're going to get rid of the bathtub in that main bathroom just because it was taking up too much space for a main bathroom. It just needed to be smaller with one shower. And we have a bathtub downstairs anyway. And then, yeah, basically this is the kitchen area. And then we're going to have a dining table area right next to it. And I think we fit in a small lounge area too, which is really good. But I love this room because it's so light and bright, and it just reminds me of so many friends' houses, and it just looks like home. I don't know what it is. To me, it looks really Australian, Melbourne, Australian. I suppose it looks like a lot of other places in the world, but that's how I just connect to it. Loving the industrial kitchen. We've got the red chairs, the red flowers to tie in. We've got the blue door, which is fun, exposed white bricks, and a nice little trick here, putting an ottoman under that kitchen bench. So it looks like you could pull it out and sit on it if you wanted to. And we've also got those red appliances there too to tie in with the dining area. And those mirrors were just not looking pretty. I was just thinking, no, honey, we are not doing that. So we get rid of them. And then... Have you guys seen Dude, Where's My Car? That's a quote from that movie. And then, oh, it's so funny. Such a funny, wacky film. Oh, too good. Probably not. I don't reckon you younger Simlies would like it very much, but teen Simlies and young adult Simlies, you'd love it. Well, you could love it. I don't know. It depends on your sense of humor. If you have a stupid sense of humor like me, it's a very funny movie. And it's got Ashton Kutcher in it. And who doesn't love him? Anyways, here's the screenshots. So here's the terrace houses and the front door of the house we have furnished with their little out the front garden there. And this is the corridor, which is very common in Melbourne terrace houses, to have that corridor to walk down. We've got some Sims in here enjoying their lounge room. How epic is that? How epic is it that TV is backed onto glass? Fancy. Here's the kids' bedroom. Very sweet. And one industrial lamp there just because I wanted it to be a bit quirky. And that kind of ties in with the kitchen upstairs, which is a bit of fun. And we've got a second lounge area there with a fireplace, all looking pretty nice. It looks quite homely, I think. Homely is a positive term in Australia. I think homely is negative in the US as a descriptive word. I'm not sure, but homely means just warm, friendly, and feels like home. I love that the towels match the lemon wall. Yes. Love when that happens. Color coordination. And yeah, there's the outside of the two houses. I think we're just going to have a quick look inside the second terrace home so you can see what what you have to furnish here if you'd like to try it out. And the rooms are definitely a bit more narrow, not as open, but a good challenge nonetheless, which could make for a very good home for some of your Sims storylines, I'm sure. But anyways, guys, I hope you are having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world, and I look really forward to speaking to you soon.